Yo,
Hey, welcome to the New Meta episode 42.
42.
My name is ThaPChild.
And I'm Lord Fluffy.
Nice, man. I still got that juicy Apex background. I like that.
Yeah. I
Looks
mean,
good, man. It
you
looks
were
good.
a huge fan. Like when we played, I know, like off stream, right afterwards, you're like, this is going to be my number one game. 2019.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
No, it's, you know what? It is a little addicting, and I'm not a BR fan. Like if somebody were to ask me, I'm like, nah, not really, not a BR
Sure.
fan. But I do enjoy it.
Good.
I don't know. It's interesting.
What legend do you liking?
So I haven't played all of them yet.
Okay.
Lately, I've been playing the healer a little bit just
Yeah.
to see what it was
Lifeline.
like.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did like running around a corner when I'm hurt and dropping the heal.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, healing some allies.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I got a lot of experience. I only got to play the, I don't know the names of any of them. The
Sure.
guy with the shield when you aim. What's his name?
Oh, Gibraltar.
But-
He's terrible.
Gibraltar. Yeah, I played him a couple games.
That hitbox is huge.
He seems slow, man.
Yeah.
He seemed like he ran slow
Well,
too.
you're
but I don't know.
It's just because
Maybe
he's bigger. His character model
He's
is bigger,
big, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always funny. Like,
So
you
I hear
play
that.
EverQuest 2 back in the day, and there'd be like these huge characters and like an ogre or
Yeah.
a troll, and you feel like you just move slow, and you play like a Ratanga, which is like just a little rat, and you feel like you're moving at the speed of light because your character model is like this big,
that
compared
big.
to like
Yeah,
that big.
yeah.
So
But they're going the exact same speed.
Right,
It's
yeah.
cool. It's interesting though. I have played a little bit off stream just to like familiarize myself. The problem I think I have is I came into the game a month late. I don't
Sure.
know how long it's been out.
yeah,
So it's like I get in these games and I get killed by somebody, and then it shows like their stats at the end, like when they kill me.
Mhm.
And it's like the dude has like 2,000 kills,
Sure.
and it's like I have like 7. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
I mean,
it's not
I
even-
feel like those players are pretty rare. I feel like the ones that have like 2,000 plus at this point.
yeah, I've
like
seen a
one
lot
team
of
a
people
game.
that were in the hundreds.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it seems like and most of my teammates too, and I think also, and I don't blame them, but I get in games and it's like I'll have like 5 or 6 kills, and then my teammates will be in the hundreds and they just instantly leave. They're just like,
Yeah.
you haven't even jumped yet,
Right.
and they've already left.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean,
all right,
that
well, I'm
happens a
going
lot.
solo, boys.
Anyways,
So-
like if for some reason people like quit out or like the connection gets lost, like playing solo in Apex is so hard because I don't understand it. Like anytime I've tried it, either the people like disconnect or quit out, or like we don't jump. Like if I'm jump master or whatever, like you just go wherever the jump master says. Like whatever happens, happens. Honestly,
Yeah,
but
right.
they like jump out, or if I don't
Yeah.
go to where they ping, they like quit out. It's just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
And so that happened to me on a game. So like a team jumped down and we got in a fight with another team, and it ended up we ended up killing all 3 of them, but my 2 teammates died. So I got the last kill, and I'm like, cool. And so one of them instantly quit, and I picked the other one's flag up or whatever the little item is, and I start running to the res station, which was kind of close.
Sure.
And I start rezzing the dude, and he leaves as I'm rezzing him.
Trucker.
I'm like, you mother trucker. So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that was an epic fight. It was fun. But anyways, I'm enjoying
Sure.
the game. It's fun.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, it's super populated. I don't know if it's something I'm going to stream a lot, but you know,
Yeah.
every now and then, maybe if
fun.
you're throwing down, I'll hop
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So,
We're-
last week's poll.
Yeah.
Let's hit it
Pulling
up, man. Let's do it.
Where's it? This one. This button. It's hard to find sometimes. All right. So last week we asked, do you think the extended season extension worded out great means a large wave of new content is coming? Yes or no? What do you think people voted?
I'm going to say people voted no because I think people are salty right now. I think there's been too much salt in the wind.
Sure. All right. Well, let's see the
not-
results.
What would you?
All right.
would
I
you
said
vote?
no too.
Oh, wow.
76% said it's no. No. Which,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's everything we kind of talked about a little bit last week. It's like, well, we're 20% more dev effort now, please. So that could be a good thing, but there could be like ramping them up, so maybe we won't get anything. Or, it's Diablo being Diablo, we won't get anything anyways. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of agree. I think that, content is such a subjective word there. That's the key word there. I think we're going to get a significant seasonal theme. I think it's going to be at least as good as what we got now.
Okay. Do you think we'll need more balance or no?
I'm going to be crazy and say yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we're going to get some quality of life, maybe like 2 tiny quality of life changes.
Okay.
We'll get Necro will get balanced. I think Necro is going to get readjusted this season.
God, I hope so.
I think it makes no sense for them not to, because that is their paid expansion class.
Right.
God, if you want to make money, juice them.
Sure.
So at minimum, I think we're going to get those things.
Right.
So
just curious how they're going to do that. Unless they actually listen to my advice for once, Blizzard, which are still a post on the line. Read it. But yeah, I don't know how they could do that without just completely destroying single target dam for 4 men. But
yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Yep. And we got a new poll for this week.
Yeah.
The question that we wanted to ask is, does a game being free to play influence your interest in the title? So let's say there's a game coming down the pipe and you're kind of interested in it, and then you hear the announcement that it's a free to play game. Would that churn you off, hype you up, or does it matter? So.
It's funny because like 5 years ago, if you would ask me this question, I'd probably been like, well, I want I'd rather get it like a paid to play game, because like statistically 5 years ago, like free to play games were like, they were pretty bad and like very pay to win. But obviously the paradigm has shifted a lot since Fortnite. So yeah, I mean, to me now, I think free to play is the way to go. But if you would ask me 5 years ago, I've been like, no. You know,
I agree. I mean, I'm interested to see what people think. I don't want to get into this huge debate, but that's something that's definitely changed for me even very recently. So,
but let me spam that in chat real quick.
Yeah, and then on the topic of free to play, NetEase apparently is finished with their portion of Diablo Immortal, according to. We got some. I think it was MMO Culture, I believe, that broke the news. It's been reported on like a million sites. Right. So as far as like who's the first one now, I'm not sure. But I don't know. I don't know about that, man. That seems...
Yeah. So
it seems trollish to me. Like, because we had the earnings call. Like, it does. We had the earnings call and they said no significant releases. And like this, to me... It seems like they're banking on this being a significant release. They're expecting this to generate a lot of money, especially in the Eastern markets. So,
but it says within this, it says, okay, NetEase is like, we're done from our point of view, we're done. But Blizzard is holding out. It's kind of what I got out of this. So, like, Blizzard could not release it. It's like Blizzard could still be working on, or maybe.
What do you think the motivation is for that?
I mean, there could be a lot of things. One theory is that, like, you know, the backlash at BlizzCon was obviously super negative for NA, and you know what NetEase had planned for the game isn't necessarily going to line up. Let's hope it doesn't line up with kind of like what Blizzard would want out of a mobile Diablo game. And so this extra time is, you know, Blizzard making itemization right and all that stuff. Yep. But the gameplay and the skills and all that stuff, it's like done. But like itemization and how they're going to do microtransactions might not be. Which sucks, because that means that Diablo Blizzard devs are working on this and not NetEase.
And that's kind of what they said, is that they didn't have a whole lot of effort on this. They're like, NetEase is doing this. It's not taking away from what we're working on, but then NetEase is like, no, we're done, we're finished.
Right. And that's what they said at BlizzCon. I don't know. And then you look right after BlizzCon, you watch any of our podcasts, you can see all the mobile positions opening up for unannounced projects. So, I mean, I don't know. Their paradigm could have shifted on what they expected and wanted out of this game. And hopefully that's the case. Or they're just sitting on it and they want to release it next year. At BlizzCon. They could do that too. Like, they want to make it a thing at BlizzCon. There's like,
oh God, man, I don't, baby, don't. Don't. I don't know what else to say other than that would be so bad.
Sure.
It would have to be like a under the table, here's a little side booth, we're going to talk about Diablo Immortal. If that is a main thing again, let's
just go hypothetical, right? So let's say BlizzCon 2019. You know, we're talking about it, and you and I decide to go again for whatever reason.
Okay.
And
Okay. I love throwing away thousands of dollars. I'm
right,
with you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Obviously we don't get invited to any panels or anything like that.
Okay.
But they, opening they show us the schedule beforehand, and Diablo's at the top again. Okay, this is just a hypothetical.
I already know you're
that
going.
opening
Keep
spot, right? And then the announcement for the opening spot is that, guess what? Diablo Immortal is now available for download, and you can play it. And we've got phones over there; you guys can play it, and that's it. What do you think?
Fool
would
me
happen?
once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
What do you think would happen?
Oh man,
How would you react, first of all?
Is that it? Like that's
it.
the big
Yep.
that's the big announcement for BlizzCon again.
Sure. And they're going to go into like how it works in the classes.
Oh
and
man,
skills
I mean,
and
I
all
would
that.
be pissed, but it's not like I'm an irrational adult. I'm not gonna riot and burn the building
sure.
down. But I'm gonna be like, this sucks. Like I'm gonna vocally be like, all right, this is some BS. You got me twice now. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Sure.
I would be I would never go to BlizzCon again, probably.
Right.
I mean, never. It's hard to say absolutes because if they were like, we are going to announce Diablo 4, the next one, I'd probably still go.
Right.
It would suck, man. What would you do? I mean,
that would be that'd be a pretty awful move on their part.
I can tell you how like the mood of the trip shifted after Immortal.
Oh yeah.
Like, we were on like cloud nine.
Yeah.
We were excited. Like this was like, trip of the lifetime experience. Yeah. We had those prime seats that Dusky hooked us up with in his community. And we were just like, let's go. And then when that was it, man, it was like, it's like Blizzard stock prices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't want to go through that again because the high was so cool, man. It was so fun up until that point.
Right.
And then afterwards, it was like, let's try to make this fun. And I don't really like that either.
Yeah, let's continue hanging out. Like, let's have some conversations with Wyatt. Like, talk to the community people. And that was it. Like, there was no excitement about anything.
I guess let's go play WoW Classic.
Let's go try the Overwatch thing.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
But going back to kind of circling back around, there was something that I heard about today, and I hadn't really heard. But Blizzard Activision was telling investors that the recent redundancies could negatively impact its business model. Is the wording that they actually used?
Recent redundancies.
But basically, what they're saying is that the layoffs are going to cause impact financially, is what they're saying. And they set aside $150 million in order to offset all these layoffs or firings. I mean, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of crazy. But basically, they're saying that the reduction in staff could disrupt the operations and could ultimately. Obviously. They're basically saying that this could ultimately end up not even saving them money. Is what I took from the article I read. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Right. So they're going to use the layoffs and obviously like morale loss and productivity loss as kind of their precursor or letting the investors know to expect probably the worst year they've ever had. I think that's probably what they're saying.
It seems like from the call and all this stuff that it's just like they're setting their investors up for a really crappy year.
Right.
So
I can see that.
But it was interesting, man.
Yeah.
It was interesting. They're basically saying that the layoffs may not even save them money, and they could disrupt operations, and they've set aside all this extra money to pay people, and I don't know, man.
I wonder how much severance alone cost them, and how good that was. But anyways,
set aside 150 mil, so probably a lot.
Yeah.
Severance packages. Probably. Health insurance that they're going to have to continue via whatever, I don't know exactly all the ins and outs of the HR portion, but
what else is weird about this Diablo Immortal thing is like, so if NetEase is saying like, okay, we're done with our part, and us as consumers or Diablo fans still haven't heard anything else since BlizzCon about this game, period. Do you think they're just going to do a blind kind of launch, kind of like further talking about Diablo Immortal until it's released?
I think the press was so negative that they don't even want. They're done. They're like, yep, well, this is closed curtains until release day.
Mm.
We'll throw it on the store. I wonder how much marketing they're going to push.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wonder if it's even going to be a thing where they're going to try to market.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to release in the East first? You think it's going to be like, oh,
I think it'd be global. I mean,
I think it's a global launch.
oh yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, that'd be so weird if like China gets Diablo, and then what? Like we're just like, well, I guess let's go watch like a Chinese streamer or something. Like, I don't know. That'd be weird. That'd be really
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know.
I would assume they'd
They
ask
would.
like Riker or Bloodshed to like, I don't know. Like if they did a global, they'd ask one of those guys. You know,
You think they would?
that's in the loop
It's
to be like,
interesting.
hey, you want to stream this?
Let's just take this to where we can answer. Would you if Blizzard came to you and like, all right, we want you to stream Diablo Immortal, would you do it?
I don't think they would. I mean, well, this
We're
is
saying
completely
hypothetically
right.
they already have. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
already asked you.
I mean, I've already like I talk about this all the time on the stream. It's like, so obviously there's a ton of things that could change like about Diablo Immortal, but it is in fact a Diablo title, and if it's like what we saw at BlizzCon, I would try it. So would I stream it? I mean, I don't game off stream really ever. So I mean, yeah, I'd probably figure out a way to stream it, but
Yeah.
if it's bad, you know, I'm gonna tell my viewers it's bad. I'm not gonna, you know, if they're like,
Yeah,
hey,
you're not gonna
we want you to
chill out.
right? If we want you
Yeah.
to stream this, but you can't say anything negative at all, I'd probably be like, well, I'm probably not the right guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. And I'd probably be in the same boat.
Right.
Like I've kind of said since day one, I'll play the game when it comes out,
Right.
provided that it's reasonable financially for me to do so.
Sure.
And if Blizzard obviously hooked me up with a copy, then for sure I would play it. Would I stream it? Probably so.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest about it. If it sucks, I'm gonna be like, man, this kind of sucks.
Sure.
And if I'm having a good time, I'm like, this is kind of fun.
Right.
You know, like I'll give an honest opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna hide behind, you know, closed curtains until they're ready to be like, okay, here we go.
I mean, it makes
I would be.
sense.
I think, man, this seems like the age of leaks, though. Everything. How did Apex stay under the
I
radar
don't know, man.
like that, dude?
I mean,
because
it didn't
everything
really.
gets leaked.
It's crazy because you look at some like I've recently looked over like the Apex Reddit, and like someone posted like the whole map of Apex, like I don't know, 3 to 6 months ago, and everyone's like, "Ah, you're full of shit," and it's like
Yeah.
literally the map with all
It's
the
spot
names,
on.
right?
Uh,
So I think people. I
yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean, like
leaks just
people
weren't
didn't care about the
right.
game beforehand. Yeah, maybe because it's just like we didn't know about it. We didn't
Right.
know what we were missing. But
Right.
I know personally myself, I hadn't heard of Apex until I logged on to Twitch that morning and I
Yeah.
saw it in the #1 slot in the directory.
Right.
And I'm like, what's this?
And honestly, I
And then I
remember
go in
looking
there,
at it, and I was like,
and
oh,
I'm
what
like-
is this? Is this just some flavor of the month? Because like everyone was
Yeah.
playing like Realm Royale, you know?
Yep,
When it was
exactly.
in alpha, and I was like, ugh.
Or there was some other one that got shut down recently too.
What was that game? I know what you're talking
It
about.
looked like a mobile game almost, but it wasn't. I thought it was mobile.
Right.
But you know, because they were sponsoring everybody,
Yeah.
like Realm Royale
Yeah.
and the other game, they were sponsoring all these guys, Doc and Ninja, and paying Ninja to come out and do tournaments and all this stuff.
Sure.
And it's like, you know, okay. And the game looked cool. It looked okay.
Sure.
And I thought Apex was the same, man. I'm like, this shit's gonna be gone in 2
Right.
months. Nobody's gonna care.
So then I
I
downloaded.
don't think that's
like
the
it's free to
case now.
play, and I was like, man, this is fucking fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's interesting.
I mean, but that goes to show you, like, I don't know that any of the big streamers were necessarily paid to play it the first day, because I'm pretty sure that they put like ad or sponsored or whatever in their thing. But
I think they do. Yeah.
yeah, but like that's like what an effective strategy, right? Like if any
Yeah.
game company has to learn anything from this, is one, maybe ninja releases aren't a bad thing. Two, like getting big streamers to play your game, or even just streamers to play your game, it's a big thing. It makes a big difference,
Yeah.
probably. So
You're showing it to that audience. And
Right.
like everybody's got like you have a different viewer audience than I have. I mean, we
Sure.
share people,
Yeah.
but your people are different from my people.
Yeah.
And it's like even if I'm playing a game, I'm gonna expose it to my audience and they're gonna like, well, this sucks or this is awesome. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But the amount of influence that I can see that I have is definitely there. And then the amount of influence that somebody like Ninja or Doc or
Right.
Shroud or Summit that those guys have is just insane. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're reaching millions of people, and then they get their friends talking,
Yeah.
and it's just interesting, man. Like I told my son, my two kids play Fortnite and they love it. And I told them about it when it first came out. I'm like, have you guys seen Apex? And they're like, oh, that sucks. I don't care. And it took them like 3 weeks, but then once their friends finally started playing it, they're like, yo, man, I'm on Apex, man. Fortnite sucks. You know what I mean? So
Wow. Right
it's
on.
just like, all right.
Yeah.
Do
Well, I
it.
mean, hopefully the next Diablo title they get us like 'cause we have a
But
bigger reach than Shroud and
yeah,
Doc. You kidding?
I know, man. What are you like? Yeah. Talking about that makes me think that like we talk all the time about being open though, and it kind of contradicts exactly what we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like because we're like, come talk to us, come tell us about, you know,
Yeah.
tell us about D4,
Sure.
drop some news, give us a logo,
Right.
and it's kind of like, well, maybe you should pull that, you know, ninja drop.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's interesting though.
Yep.
that they
So
said
let's
they're
talk
done.
about D3
Right.
for a little bit.
Sure.
Let's
I
talk about some
kind
D3.
and people have been asking for it, and you know I've been curious myself, honestly, because I haven't actually been playing a ton of Diablo this season myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to go over kind of the state of the leaderboard,
Okay.
and where everything's at. So I'm just gonna I did like a real brief look through the top 10 of every class, and obviously the group metas. And it seems to be obviously with Necro, Lon has taken over. Lon Corpse Lance is insanely good. Which is
So I
unfortunate.
haven't played Long Corpse Lance. Does it play exactly like Pestilence Corpse Lance?
No, it plays like Bloodlance, so even worse.
Oof.
So like I don't know if you played Bloodlance before. Pestilence, Cold Lance was the thing.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the
it's-
first season 11, I think it was a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't play it. I mean, I don't mind Cold Lance honestly, because it feels like a polished build. Yeah, you're waiting on big cooldowns, and it's not the most fun thing in the world, but it's unique. Like it's different from most classes that you're just like.
Cold Lance is fun to me, like
Right.
personally. Like I pushed it a little bit in season 12,
Right.
and I enjoyed it, man. It was polar opposite of Condemned Crusader, which is what I have been playing,
Right.
in my opinion. It was like it was cool. I just
Right.
wish there were other builds, but
And so, and again,
So-
this goes back to one, Necro didn't get a buff, which I can only blame myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like
it's your
doubly responsible because I was like, please don't buff Lon. And now you look at the best Necro build, which is Lon. So it's like Blizzard's trolling me. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. But yeah, I mean,
remember that conversation you had with Wyatt
yeah,
at BlizzCon?
I do.
Totally. It's your fault right there.
It
man.
really is. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that Lon, especially on a Necro, where you don't have a ton of items. Obviously, Corpse Lance is just going to take over everything. So, I don't love that. But moving on. Barb, I think is there's only two classes that have more than one build in the top 10, which historically has been kind of the case. Although I feel like, what was it? It was Barb had like 3 or 4 last season in like the top 10, top 20.
Yeah.
And so did
A couple,
Demon
or
Hunter, I
maybe,
think.
two seasons ago, I think you had Rakor, IK,
Yeah.
and Whirlwind. But
Yeah.
that Whirlwind was an outlier. I mean, that's like the one
I
dude
think it was more than
on
that.
the planet.
It was like Charge, Raker Hoda, IK Hoda, and Whirlwind, I think, was what we saw in like the top 20.
I don't know.
But anyways, like obviously there's variety. And so this, one of the things that is kind of like an overwhelming negative thing, if you will, is kind of what we hope for and what we talked about if you go back and watch the podcast like from a month or two ago when the season was first starting, and we saw the patch notes, and everyone's kind of shitting on the patch notes, right? Like oh, they're just number changes, and you and I were kind of like, well, based on some of these numbers, it kind of looks like they're trying to bring balance to the game, because they were like they're buffing sets that were underperforming, and the numbers were seemingly kind of specific, but we have less balance than we did before. I mean, partially because Lon. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I think there's more variety because we've closed the gap
There's
on difficulty.
more variety because there's more sets that
Yeah.
are performing at a high level. But
Yeah, exactly. So like every set can do T13 now,
right,
because we don't have anything higher than T13.
right.
But if you think back, I don't know when Torment 13 was introduced. I don't know if it was season 9 or 10 or whatever
Right.
that was. But prior to when season 10, when there was Torment 10 was the highest, most of the sets could do Torment 10 at that point too.
Yeah.
So I think the sets have caught up to the difficulty creep, and that to me is fun. It's fun knowing that I can go into T13 and play damn near anything I want. The problem is we're all efficient, or we want to be efficient. So we're like, I'm gonna play whatever's the meta, and I'm gonna do it for my greater rifts. I'm gonna do it for my T13s, and we just get locked into these builds.
Right. But
Crusader is all Invoker Thorns.
yeah, but to touch on this again is like what I said at the very start of the season, like when Raycor got buffed, I was like, how? I mean, because Raycor Hoda was already doing 120.
Yeah.
And now it's doing 126, and we're not even at the end of the season. So it's like,
Is that
so
the top
obvious.
right now? I'm surprised
Yeah.
Charge isn't top.
yeah, that's right.
Is it Hoda?
Charge is number 3 at a 123.
Charge is 3.
Rank 1 is 126. Because, I mean, duh.
Yeah.
It was powerful before, and now it's even more powerful. So when it got buffed, I was like, what do you mean? Because Condemned didn't get buffed.
It'd be cool to have
Pestilence didn't get
leaderboards. Blizz, when you implement the leaderboard filters, because I know you're working on that right now. It would be cool to see man, it'd be so cool to see averages too, wouldn't it?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, what if you could say, okay, like if you could say, show me the only Raycor Hoda barbs, and I want to average the top 1,000 to see what the average clear is.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting.
Because that would be an interesting. I mean, you could obviously do the math yourself; it would suck.
Right.
But to average the top 1,000, so you could say Barb's average is a 117, Demon Hunter's average is a 119. Like, I think the top pushes are such outliers. Like, those guys work so hard, push so hard, whatever the case is, to get those numbers. And I am interested to see like the metric curve of the average player. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but yeah, so that's Spire on, just like you said, Invoker Crusader is all over the top of the boards, which is unfortunate because I think that going into the season we thought it would be like Sweep Attack or
Rollins, yeah, or Hammerden,
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Hammerden's in the top 50. I know because I looked it up the other day just to see.
Okay.
I didn't go through all of them,
Sure.
but I did find somebody in the top 50 with it. So take that for what you will.
Right.
I don't think it's stronger than Condemn. And I'm putting together an Invoker set right now, so I'll be able to comment on how that feels next week. But
Yep. I played that when it first came out, and the build, as far as I know, hasn't changed at all. But it's not
I
bad.
played it back in another season before it got buffed, and I hated it personally. But it's so strong, it's so tanky, it's so powerful that it's like, all right, we'll try it.
Yep. Moving on to Demon Hunter. Kind of what the same. N6 M4 is kind of at the top. Just kind of was before the buff, wasn't it? Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was.
And then Shadow. No.
How long does it take to get to a Shadow? Top 5?
125 is Shadow, so top 4.
Top 4, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty equal.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, the top guy is that, what's he playing? Fire?
N6
Probably Fire.
M4. Cluster arrow, loaded for bear. I actually don't even know what loaded for bear is.
Yeah.
So
I don't know either.
I've never played
I haven't
N6
played
M4 my whole life. But yeah. Monk,
Cheers.
for all your crying, guess what top is?
And this Wave of Light.
Yeah.
But what's the top of it though? Like, what is it?
What do you mean?
Like
124.
What is it? Oh, okay, and then what's go to rank 50. Go to rank 50.
Okay.
I just want to see what they clear.
Sure. 115.
115. Okay, now go to Wizard. It's gonna be Tarash immediately.
I mean,
okay.
Wizards OP as fuck.
I know.
Oh, actually 124.
Okay, go to their 50.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm just curious.
118.
Okay, so it's 3 higher.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Let's go to Demon Hunter.
Okay. I mean, Demon Hunter. So
What's their
overplayed this
50?
season. 120.
Yeah, that's 5 levels higher. I mean, and I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It was broken. It was OP.
Right.
I wanted it. I wanted it, man. I wanted it.
But yeah, it's all in
I
his
wanted
wave
to
of
play
light
it.
on the monk. Witch Doctor is all Jade. No surprise there. But at least, I mean, honestly, of all the Witch Doctor builds that could be like the one that everyone's playing, I would hope it'd be Jade because it plays.
At least it's Jade.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already had Gargantuan pets for
Right.
a while, so what's
Thank
its
God.
50 at? I'm just curious.
114.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it's in the
I
same
wonder what
realm.
50 Necro is.
Oh my god, it's like 75.
105. Wow. God damn, I should have pushed that.
You want to see something?
Season.
You want to see something funny?
No problem.
Go to hardcore. Click on your hardcore on the left there, and then hardcore season. Sorry, are you on season?
Oh, here we go.
No. Okay. Now do Necro. Now go to the bottom. Go to the very bottom.
Oh my god. Oh god. 54.
54 fluff. 54.
Oh god.
Basically, if you can do a greater rift on a Necro, you can get top 1000.
Damn.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then obviously Wiz is the last
Meteor.
follow up.
Insane, right?
Slut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Meteors, it's powerful, man.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you look at like the group meta, which I thought was interesting. The 2-man was N6 M4 with support monk.
Support. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. And then there was
Not what I would have
also
expected.
a charge barb support crusader.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Support Satyr even.
Yeah. Crazy.
That
right?
could be fun. I kind of like seeing something new like that. Like the charge barb support Crusader is only going to be viable this season, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that because next season that Barb's going to lose his Royal Ring,
Yeah.
and he's going to lose his Band of Might, and then I think that's really cool, man.
And then you start getting into the 3-man, 4-man, just as we foresaw. It's gonna be Lon Star Pact Wizard and Lon fucking Thorns Necro. The most awful build ever to grace Diablo. Lon Thorns or Inarius Thorns. Now that it's been buffed. And this goes to show you, and what we talked about before, is Lon isn't some like it provides like uniqueness to Diablo. Everyone thinks that Lon's like, you can play whatever you want. I mean, you can to an extent, but Lon just makes the stuff that's already good better. And so like it's exactly like a set. And it actually most of the time it plays worse than the set.
Yep.
So it's just,
you're playing Lon Star Pact. You're playing, Lon.
And I'm not I'm not like, Diablo should be all about sets, because I'm not. But Diablo 3, I think, at this point, we should accept that it is a set game and just, make the game around that. Honestly. And start pumping out more sets and stop trying to make Lon a thing, man. It's...
If we could get updates, I'm down for the new sets, and I agree with that. I hope they go a different direction with Diablo 4. And so I'm not saying that, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree that Diablo 3 is a set game.
Yep.
It will always be a set game. It is too late in the life cycle of this game to change that.
Right.
Just like it's too late to go away from Greater Rifts and Nephilim Rifts.
Right.
As much as I want more in-game activities,
Exactly.
I don't think you can. You can't change the flavor of the Kool-Aid at this point. We've already got a picture of it.
Yeah. And they don't need to. Like, there's no reason. I mean,
we can add some more sugar. We can add some more water.
Exactly.
But we can't change the flavor, man.
We can't expect an overhaul of the game at this point. So, yeah. Just start adding more sets.
Diablo 4, I am...
Yes.
See, that's the thing. People ask me a lot, like, what do you want Diablo 4 to be like? I don't know. Like, sure. I don't know because I don't want the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't want a graphically updated Diablo 2. I don't want a graphically updated Diablo 3. I don't want some hybrid baby of the two that fails. I need new fundamental things. Like, and I don't even know. Like, I don't have the ideas to... There are things I want in it. I want multiplayer MMO-ish traits.
Sure.
But So
Yeah, I mean,
I want stuff.
there's nothing that would say, as far as Blizzard's history is concerned, that they couldn't come up with something new and innovative in Diablo 4, and hopefully they will. But yeah, it is a tough question to answer. Like, what's the number one thing you want in
I
Diablo
mean,
4?
we have the rumors. We had the rumors that it was going to be a third person over the shoulder style of game.
Yeah,
Would you be disappointed with that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
I think I am too. And here's the thing. If they decided to make a game like that, I'm totally cool with that. Just don't call it Diablo. Put a new name on it.
I mean,
You know
you
what I
could
mean?
call
Make
it
it-
Diablo blah. Like, to me, it's like, just don't
You
call it
can't-
Diablo 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be like Diablo
Diablo Decker
Dark
Chronicles
Souls.
or something.
Right.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be cool for that, but to be an ARPG, I think to me, it has to have that isometric camera.
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as you take away the isometric camera, you are no longer an ARPG. You're now an action adventure style of game.
Sure.
Like Witcher.
Right.
Which are cool, man. Those are great games. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I concur.
All right, side tangent. I started ranting.
Yeah. But yeah, all over the 3-man, 4-man, it's Lawn Star Pack, Lawn Thorns, support.
I did a thing this
Sure.
week. I did this thing.
What's the thing?
I made a bet. That Blizzard was going to give us PTR notes for last Tuesday, a week from today, or a week, earlier.
Why did you do
And
that?
because I really thought they were. This happened right before they announced the season extension.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, we got next Tuesday will be 2 weeks until the season's over. So they have to give us the news. They have to say, this is what we're going to do. Here's what we're doing. And so I bet my chat that, that's what would happen. And it didn't happen. Although it kind of technically did. They extended the season and said we're going to have a PTR, which I kind of think I won. But so the bet was I had to play a hardcore character
Okay.
if I lost.
Yeah.
And I have never, ever played a hardcore character. I got power leveled on one once for a seasonal conquest, but
Sure.
I've never actually attempted to play one. So in order to do this legit, I think it wouldn't be fair if I got power leveled. I think for my first hardcore character,
Yeah.
I actually needed to play and level the character.
Yes.
And so I got a group of people and we all leveled just like it was the start of the season, brand new characters, no Paragon points, no cheats, no mats, none of that.
Okay.
We did our bounty or our challenge rift that
What class
season.
did you roll?
Or that week? I rolled a Crusader.
Okay.
I ended up going with Crusader because it's something I'm pretty
Easy,
familiar with,
but
and
go
it's
ahead.
pretty tanky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I played the Crusader, got him leveled up. I haven't died on the character yet. I've got about three or four streams. I think 3 streams of playtime on him. And it's fun, man. I'm actually having a lot more fun than I thought I would.
Okay.
So it's interesting. It opened my eyes a little bit. Like I've had a couple pucker moments where I'm like, oh my God, I should have died, but I didn't. So it was cool.
Right on.
So that's what I've been up to, man. That's been my Diablo experience. I think the fun portion for me is because I've never played hardcore before, so that made it new. And then the power creep. You get that power creep again, man. Getting the pieces that's instantly like, oh God, I can now do T13s, or I have this item now, I can push greater rifts. And that's fun.
What's his Paragon after 3 streams?
I think I'm like close to 600.
Cool.
I think something like that. I mean, nothing crazy.
Yep.
I'm being pretty scaredy pants because I don't want to rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that
I mean,
fear
obviously, you
might
picked
go
the
away a
Crusader.
little bit after your first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna get razzed for that now. Jeez.
Playing Necro on hardcore. Oh my God. It's
Oh my
terrible.
God. But yeah, man, that's been my
Cool.
fun thing. It's been cool. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
So
Plus chat.
if you haven't played hardcore before,
to watch you
oh,
die.
they love.
Oh yeah.
Yes. They try bait me
Oh,
into
yeah.
it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you can easily do a 70." I'm like, "Dude, I don't even have my 6-piece yet. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
so what about this Torchlight Frontiers game?
Yeah.
You been hearing about this?
So
I don't know much about this game.
Yeah, they're in their closed alpha 3 right now. I'm actually in it, but and I plan on playing this. But for me, for whatever reason, the game is unplayable. Like I'll load in, and like I'll move like halfway across the screen, and then I'm back where I started, and it's 100%. Like I can't even move. And it's every single time I load in. And it's not obviously not my internet because I have like a gig, but so
Right.
like I would like to play it and be able to tell you if it's good or not, but I like literally
Is this
can't
the
right
open
now.
beta, or did you
It's
reach out to
closed.
them to
This
get
is
access?
closed alpha. I just applied just like any Joe Schmo would. Like I didn't use like my name or anything like
Use
that.
your streamer perks.
Right.
Yo, it's worth life.
So yeah, unfortunately I can't tell you much about it because it's unplayable in its current state. But hopefully it's just like maybe it's a spike. They're having more population than expected or whatever. But
Yeah,
I tried throughout
that'd
the
be
day.
interesting to test out. So maybe I'll have to.
But as far as I know, it's just only like the two classes, which is like this robot dude and like a mage that's like both light and dark. I mean, from what I see, like the mechanics seem polished. Like the graphics, although very cartoony, they seem to be, pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm graphics
curious.
like that don't bother me. Like
Really?
like Fortnite has cartoony graphics. That doesn't bother me at all. I think it's fine. I don't care really. I mean, I like the dark and gritty, realistic shit too. But I'm okay with the cartoony stuff. The gameplay,
as long as the gameplay's good. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, I'm interested in Torchlight. I know we've talked about it on stream. I haven't really researched it much since that one. I mean, that podcast we did on stream.
Yeah.
When we talked about it on that podcast, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that they had a closed beta going on that you could apply for acceptance to. So maybe I'll check that out. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
So,
I'm interested
and
to
then
check out the progression, but I can't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Warhammer's also doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Man. They got a release date.
They actually finally got a release date. I think last week is now June 4th. And I
haven't put any research.
Yeah,
in this
I looked into it this week. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, you're gonna play it," but all the gameplay I can find for this game is all console. Every single gameplay video I can find is all console, and a lot of the skills you control. You can like aim and like as your character's there and you're moving like with your left stick, you can like move the spell. Like your fireball will like go wherever you want. So I'm like, how the heck is that gonna play on PC? And I can't find any gameplay videos of this on PC, but it does say PS4, Xbox One, and PC all June 4th. So I don't know why we haven't seen any gameplay for the PC, but as far as I know, there's 4 classes and they're just races, I guess. There's like the dwarf, I guess it's supposed to be like the melee DPS. There's a wood elf, high elf, and human. I don't know what those are supposed to be, but I know it's like the the Holy Trinity kind of thing. Like there's a healer, there's a tank.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And it doesn't look
graphically.
terrible,
what do you think graphically? I think it looks okay.
I think
it's like,
graphically, I would take this over what I saw in Torchlight.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah, but it looks okay,
and
it's very.
And I'm intrigued that they actually have a healer class. Like I think that's cool, man. I don't know. I like it. Right. I know a lot of people in ARPGs want to smash, like Hulk smash everything. Right. But I think having a healer, and especially if it requires a good healer. Like that little dragon thing right there looks pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but that looks pretty badass. Right.
It's like a little.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see more about this game. Sure. But like you said, man, I want to see PC. I want to see PC 4K footage. I don't want to see this console stuff.
Right.
Man. I need some.
Right.
I need that juice. What's it look like on a 2080 Ti with max settings? You know what I mean?
What I can tell from this fight though, and a red flag for me is this seems to be kind of like a mini boss, if you will. And he was like hitting him pretty hard, and there were no like ground effects telling him, "Hey, you're about to get tail swiped" or whatever.
Yeah, there were no mechanics to it. It was just
I don't love that.
Stand in front of him and tank
unavoidable damage. Yeah. Not cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
we talked about it a little bit.
Sure.
Apex. This is news. We kind of have our rundown of the podcast of things, and this is big news, man. 50 million
players.
That's got
worldwide
6 zeros on it, guys. 50 million.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people, man.
Right, that's insane. I think like
it's a lot.
They go on to say like Fortnite hit like 200 million after a year or something like that. And so if this stays on its current, it could pass it up. But we'll see.
Fortnite had that season come out.
Yeah.
And it kind of dethroned Apex for a little bit. I was kind of thinking that Fortnite might have been
dethroned right now, if you look.
Yeah, but But Fortnite's kind of pulling it's coming back. It's trying, like they're trying.
Yeah.
Which in my mind, I'm thinking, well, is this the end of Fortnite? And they're still doing stuff.
Oh yeah.
I played
Fortnite's
Fortnite this weekend with my son. My
Sure.
son, my 7-year-old loves Fortnite. It's a kid's game. Like I think it's turned into a kid's game. I think that they saw there was a lot of money there.
Yeah.
And I think they focused a lot of things towards that.
Okay.
And I haven't played Fortnite since season 3. Okay. So season 1, 2, and 3,
What season
I didn't play a lot.
I don't even know.
It's like 8, I think. I think it's 8.
Gotcha.
So it's been a long time since I played, but my son plays every day and he plays with his friends and he's been begging me to play. And so this weekend he gave me a guilt trip. He's like, Dad, you don't ever play games with me anymore. We used to play Destiny and you don't want to play it and this. And I'm like, all right, dude, you got me. What do you want to play? And he's like, Fortnite. And so I'm like, you sure you don't want to play Apex, man? I can install Apex on your computer. We can play Apex together. And he's like, no, I want to play Fortnite. I'm like, okay. So we went and played Fortnite. The game is not even close to what it was last time I played it. I mean, there's fucking like balloons. People are flying around. There's like suction cup guns. It is like when I first started playing in season 1, people didn't really understand the building aspect yet.
Yeah.
And it was like a boots on the ground with ramps to get on top of buildings,
Yeah.
And like now it is like, let me build a castle and use a suction cup gun to jump this mountain and glider down with my new balloon to shoot you in the back of the head with the shotgun 360 no scope. It's like ridiculous. Right. And it's cool, man. Kids like that kind of stuff. And I can see there's definitely skill there. Right. I've seen clips of people doing like some insane things with these toys and gadgets they put in the game, but it doesn't appeal to me at all though, man. I'm like, I don't want to have to use balloons to jump over somebody's building to shoot them. Yeah. So, but it was cool, man. I played with them for a couple hours.
Like, I really liked Black Ops when it first came out, but it only took a couple of weeks for everyone to be like, armor's ridiculous. And they just didn't react fast enough. And so that game's kind of died out. And now Apex is kind of just done, I think, whatever like Black Ops did wrong, they just immediately like fixed. And so this is kind of going to take over that whole not building VR space.
Yeah,
it definitely
I'm
has.
with you. But I think Fortnite still has its place with kids.
No doubt.
I think it appeals to that crowd, and I think Apex appeals to an adult crowd. Right. So they're different, complete styles. And originally I'm thinking like, well, Fortnite's going to get dethroned and Apex is going to take over, but I don't think so. I think that they're just going to kind of be hand in hand, and people will flip flop back and forth depending on what kind of style of game they like.
Right. And I was watching Ninja super briefly, and he does a lot of like fan meetups because like he's good to his people, I guess. And a lot of his fans are younger kids, and he always very frequently asks the question like, what do you like the most about Fortnite? And like almost 95% of the kids are like, I love building. So I don't think that Fortnite is obviously going anywhere.
No, it's not going anywhere. Yeah. And it's such a strong market. It's such a strong crowd.
Yeah.
So, and like, especially with younger audiences. So my older son is 12. He's about to be 13. He is into Apex and Fortnite. He likes them both, but he's getting drawn, I think, more to to Apex. My 7-year-old is not. He's complete opposite. I think they like the cartoony graphics. They like the building. They like all the weird things in it. So I don't think it's going anywhere.
Sure.
And don't let it trick you into thinking that they're not getting money from those kids, because my son begs me for V-Bucks all the time, which is Fortnite's currency. And he's like, I did all my homework. I did all my chores this week. Can I get $5 in V-Bucks? And it's like, well, it's your money, man. You earned it. I'll let you spend it on what you want.
Right.
But so they're still getting theirs.
Sure. I wonder. Man. It'd be interesting to see those numbers, right? Like to see financially how much is like Apex impacted. How much did Black Ops impact their sales, and then how much did like Apex impact their sales? It'd be really.
Yeah, I don't feel like Black Ops stayed on top very long, man. It lasted like a week, if that.
Yeah. Two weeks on top, or not even a week on top.
Not even a week on top.
To save
a couple weeks in the top 5.
Top 5. Yeah. Like 2-3 weeks, and then gone.
Then boom.
Yeah.
But and it's the same for like H1Z1 and PUBG. Like PUBG had like 4,000 people in the directory the other day.
Phew.
I'm like, damn, this game was top forever. Right. And it just shows you, man, anything. It doesn't take a lot for that that brief window you have to just be gone.
No doubt.
So,
yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
crazy.
man, that's kind of, and the last, I guess, gaming news is we have Path of Exiles. Did the notes actually drop today?
Yeah, let me show you something. Like, let me just show you something real quick. This is gonna make you just drool, right? Do you remember way back when you get on Diablo fans and you see like data mine patch notes and you like get a scroll through it and you're like, oh,
that happened?
Yeah.
We actually got patches?
Yeah.
What?
And you just be like, oh, man, I can't wait to read all this. Like, look at this, man. Like, how
that's fucking ridiculous.
lucky.
If you guys are listening on iTunes or whatever, like Fluff's been scrolling through page after page this entire time. There's probably like 50 pages of patch notes. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm jealous.
It's nuts, man.
I want to fall in love with this game, but I'm scared to play it because I'm afraid I might. I don't know.
I mean,
damn it. Can you just do a graphical overhaul and a UI overhaul, please?
I mean, people say it's in the works, but I mean, I don't know.
Just do it, man.
So I guess the theme of this league is they're kind of buffing, like, so the game's, a lot of most powerful builds have been like finding ways of not actually casting your skills. Like totems, like you put down a totem and the totem will like do crazy things and you just kind of like run around and try to avoid damage or pets or like on triggers, like so you get hit and then something happens, you know. And so they're kind of trying to refocus people on like casting it themselves, which is good, I think.
Okay.
And so they've added like 10 brand new skills. They've revamped like an insane amount of skills. I think almost everything, really, especially all the self-cast stuff. It's just nuts. The amount of content that this game is getting on a tri-monthly basis.
Dude, it just seems like we were talking about the last expansion.
Know. Betrayal.
Like a day, like they've had like 6 expansions since Diablo season, whatever season we're on, 16 started.
Yeah. It's nuts.
So,
man.
Oh man,
it's nuts. But that being said, you know, I watched a lot of streamers, like some of the bigger PoE streamers, even like Quinn, kind of read through the patch notes, and although like there is a lot of like, wow, there's a ton of hype, you need a ton of content. There is a lot of negative, I think, that goes with it as well. There's still that.
Really?
Yeah, there's still that, like, you know, when we will go through a patch note or something, and we're like, why would they do, like, so when they buff Raycor, I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, did they know
why
that
would
it's
they,
already?
Yeah, why would they change that?
Why would they do it? Did they even play the game? And it's kind of exactly the same with them. It's like a lot of streamers were reading some of the things, and they're like
I've gotten that in WoW patch notes before because I'm a big WoW fan.
Right.
Drink. And in patch notes, I've you know, when they nerf my class, I'm like, what? No, man.
And so, I verbatim, I think one of the top streamers was like to be a GGG dev, it's like you just do cocaine and try to do balanced patch.
Do cocaine,
right? But at the same time, like if Diablo got this level of content, and obviously they're gonna make a ton of changes that people don't like, I mean, would you really be that upset? Probably not.
No, I mean, I would kill for content.
Yeah,
in Diablo.
And this, I mean, this much. Can you imagine if we got season?
It would be insane.
Whatever next season,
17.
Like,
they just flop it out in the patch notes. Like, here you go.
Could you imagine?
I can't actually. I really can't.
Oh man,
I can't even fathom like how
that'd be so cool,
entertaining. Like you could just read patch notes for hours.
What do you think would happen? Like, what do you think would happen if next season? Like, we get patch notes, and it's like, wow, we haven't seen patch notes like this ever. Like, we've never seen patch notes like this. Like, probably ever.
Yeah.
Like, not even like, we implemented seasons. Like, even since then, like, I don't think we've ever seen something this big.
Reaper of Souls didn't even have patch notes like this.
Right. So, what do you think? So, like, I assume PoE is going to be like, I don't know, what was it last league? It was probably like 50K in the directory or something like that. Something crazy. Do you think Diablo would hit those kind of numbers if they had some crazy, huge patch?
Yeah. I think it could for sure. The thing is like I listen to I watch other streamers and I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately.
Sure.
And the other games that I enjoy, and like I heard a Destiny guy referencing Diablo.
Really?
And the references that he made were loose and not 100% accurate. And as a Diablo streamer player, I'm like, what the fuck? Don't talk about my baby. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like so many people played it. And he talked about, I used to play Diablo, and he talked about how vanilla sucked.
Right.
And I think there are tons of people out there who dabbled in it and are interested in it and like realized, Diablo kind of set the standard for loot. Like this is how all of our looter grinder games work. We stole Diablo's concepts. Like when we had the podcast, we talked about exclamation points, where they came from.
Right.
I mean, David Brevik was like, who did he say? I can't remember the story exactly. He said somebody on the team was just like, what if we put an exclamation point above his head?
Yeah.
Every fucking game in the history of video games uses an exclamation point because of that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
So I think it would be crazy. Right. Yeah, it's insane.
Right.
So
if we
got patch notes like this,
now it would be though. Like after all this time, they're like, you know what? Let's add some content to this game. That'd be just insane. Like how much faith do you think would be restored in Blizzard if they had this like massive Diablo 3 content update?
0.
You think 0 confidence would be
0? 0. And here's the reason.
Okay.
I'll validate this.
Okay.
One thing doesn't fix it. One thing that like the PR nightmare, the mess, the abandonment, all the things they've done, the Diablo Immortal, the BlizzCon, like all that stuff doesn't get wiped clean with one fell swoop. If you do this a couple times and you show us like, hey, this is the patch we got, and we're working on an expansion, and we're doing a druid class, and any of those things, then I think we're like, oh, okay, like they weren't playing around. They're listening to us. They're going to give us some stuff.
But I'm not suggesting that like, okay, we see this for season 16, and then season 17 we see nothing. I mean,
I'm just joking. It wouldn't be 0. It would it would restore some faith. It would restore some faith with me. I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Sure.
This is more than cool.
Well,
this is pretty awesome.
As content creators, and people ask me all the time, like, why aren't you making YouTube guides and stuff anymore, like you used to? Like, because we don't get anything. And imagine if we got something like this, where we're seeing new builds again, we're seeing new ways to play the game again. Yeah, it could pump life back into the game. It could pump life back into a lot of the content creators, and it could be great.
Into the franchise, into the IP, into Blizzard's pocket. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's what Blizzard's got to realize, I hope, is that whenever they are ready to announce Diablo 4, like the best way to get that hype train going is to make Diablo 3 playable, make it good, make people want to come back to it.
Right.
And that'll start it,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Right on.
I don't know.
But
I'm jealous, man. Path of Exiles, if you guys are players out there, man, I'm jealous of you. Yeah. You guys are
no doubt
are lucky ducks.
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to myself.
Oh my god, just play this stupid game already. Tired.
Okay, so here's my thing.
What's the thing?
Division 2. I'm hyped for it, man.
Yeah, but when does that come out?
I'm hyped for it. Tuesday.
Tuesday?
A week from today.
Oh,
a week from today.
But that game's trash.
Ouch. So ouch. I'm gonna be playing Division. If Division turns out to be trash,
sure,
I think it's gonna be good. I had fun with the beta, but if it turns out to be trash, then I have nothing else to fall back on.
Right.
Like then it's kind of like, okay, PoE, let's go. If Division is good, I'm just not gonna have time. So it's kind of the make or break.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you talked me into playing
Apex.
Yeah. So
you played that one night. Woo!
That one night. Woo! I mean, I've played off stream since then.
Okay.
I've put a couple hours in. Okay. So
you had to react. So I had some weird thing happen to me on Apex. Like my friends list got deleted. So I don't know.
I know you. Yeah, I saw that.
That was weird.
Like I had a friend's.
I called.
You were just pissed off, deleting everybody.
EA support, and I was like, hey. Like, can you guys give me any reason why? Because I was worried, like, well, did my account get compromised? And, like, because I don't really know, like, what would be the point of compromise, like, trying to hack someone's account in Apex? Because it's like, you're not, like, going to
get You can't trade skins.
Right.
You can't sell things, can you? Just to be a dick, I guess?
No, I don't know. And so, like, I looked through my account, like, nothing was like missing, or you can't really do anything once you get in someone's account. So I was like, did I play any games? And I was like, no. Didn't have any more kills or any less kills. So I was like, so I called EA. I was like, hey, like my friends list is gone, and I get this like guy from India or whatever, and he's like, well, you can just re-add them. I'm like, well, yeah, I know, but can you tell me why this happened? And he just like kept putting me on hold, and he kept coming back, and he's like, so the problem is your friend list is gone, right? I was like, well, yeah. And so he put me on hold, and he come back. He's like, so if I'm understanding this correctly, like your friends list, you just don't have anyone on it. I'm just like, how many more times do you want to reward this? Yeah. So eventually I just hung up because it's like, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. I had weird customer service issues go on a little bit too. So I have a Logitech. I'm a Logitech fanboy. I like Logitech's products. G903 mouse. It's their flagship, stupid expensive mouse with the stupid expensive charging pad. I have two of them. Both of them have had left click and right click double click issues that's related to the physical hardware switch that they use.
Okay.
And so I called them up on my first one because I bought one for here and one for my office. I just want to have the same consistency with my mouse. Yeah. I don't want to be used to a different mouse. So, and they were super cool. They're like, oh, we'll send you another one, no BS. Like, dude, it was the easiest process ever. And then so I'm like, oh, that was cool. And then so my other one starts doing it too. And I call them up. And then this time they're like, well, we've already given you one. We're not going to give you another one. And I'm like, hold up, dude. I got receipts. I purchased a second one. Like, just because, And so I had to go through like 3 customer service agents to get somebody that was like, oh, we'll take care of it.
Right.
And then, so they tell me they're going to take care of it. It's been a week. I don't hear anything. I call back today and they're like, oh, no, you have to provide all this. Like, I need a copy of your receipt. I need pictures of the serial number with the code written next to it on a sheet of paper. Like, I mean, I have it all. And I'm just like, okay. So I jumped, but they literally made me take the serial number with a picture on paper written in blue pen. They literally said blue pen. Like, why? Are you kidding me?
Weird.
And write the case number down to like prove that I owned a second one, I guess. I don't know, man.
What the heck?
So,
and the same thing. It's like, I called my bank this week, and because like my apartment that I moved out of, they're trying to like seriously screw me over and say I owe them like $3,000, even though the place was like mint. And
they did that to me too when I moved out.
So fucking, it's crazy. So I called my bank and I was like, hey, I just want to make sure what the amount was that I wrote my like deposit for, because they're trying to say like, well, we're absorbing your deposit plus you owe us like $940 or something like that. And so I was like, can I get a check image of like a check that I wrote them? Like, I know it was like March of 2013. And they're like, well, can you give us any more information? I was like, well, no, just give me all the checks for March of 2013. And they're like, well, who'd you write them to? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm asking you to give me a check that I wrote. Like, you're my bank. It's your one job. Just give me my checks. And there was just like this big thing. And they kept asking me like, well, can you tell us more details about these transactions? I was like, well, no, I'm trying to get the transactions from you. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, what the heck is going on?
That's funny, man. They did the same thing when I moved out of my apartment. This was a long time ago. I've been in the house I have now for 10 years, but they like tried to say that I owed them. They kept my deposit, which was like $1,800 or some shit. And then they tried to say I owed them another $600 for cleaning. And I'm like, dude, my wife and I scrubbed that place with bleach. I mean, it was, you could have ate off of any part of that house. You could have ate off the toilet. It was so clean. And they're like, oh, we had to hire professional cleaners. I'm like, the fuck you did? I did that.
And so one of the things with my apartment is like,
I had to fight them too.
You couldn't paint the walls. Like, they're like, you can't paint the walls. And they'll charge you like a big penalty if you do. But when I moved in, they were having this special that was like, if we will paint the walls for you, and then when you move out, you don't have to pay it again, but you pay us a small fee up front. But they had no record of this special that they ran. So they're trying to tell me like, no, you owe us like $600 to repaint 2 walls. They're like 150 square feet or something.
It's like, I can hire a professional painter to do that.
I was like, I would have done it, but you kidding me? Like, oh man, it's been a mess. It's been a total. And then they replaced my ceiling fan, because every year I would ask them to do something for me. So they replaced my ceiling fan with like a nicer one, and then now they're trying to charge me and say like they don't have the original ceiling fan, like that I replaced it. So they're trying to charge me for the original ceiling fan, even though the one that's in there is A, nicer, but B is theirs, and they did the work. It's just like dumb shit like this because they have no record of anything. It's just a mess over there. Anyway,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Scam.
Yeah, let's get into some Twitter questions. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. If you guys want to submit questions for next week's episode 43, you can tweet them at ThaPChild, at Lord_Fluffy, or in our Discord channels.
Yeah. I've started linking the Discord channels in the YouTube video description for those of you watching on YouTube.
Awesome. There you go. Zombie Wolf says, "Do you feel as if a season of double XP should happen just so people can get those crazy paragons of 5K plus?" Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
It would break non-season. I mean, non-season's already got some crazy paragon numbers like 8,000, 8,500.
Mm-hmm.
It would just make the people that cheat the system and bot that much stronger, that much more advantage.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think that would ever be.
It'd be such a lazy seasonal theme too. It'd be garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fun.
No.
Like the Paragon chase is like really all we have, and so you're just gonna give us that faster. So we'd get even more burnt out.
Yep.
Carl Panzram says, "A question for the ThaPChild. Just got married February the 2nd. Kids have been a topic of discussion we're both excited about. Since ThaPChild has kids, do you think it's appropriate, or what do you think is an appropriate age to let the kids start playing Diablo 3/Diablo 4? I remember playing D2 when I was 10. My wife thinks that's too young. What games do you enjoy with your kids?"
I'll take this one. No.
Take it. Yeah. What do you got, Fluff?
No, I have nothing. Go ahead.
Parenting advice from Lord Fluffy.
I got nothing.
It's a hot topic, man, because a lot of people will think that kids shouldn't be playing games. And me personally, I got how old were you when you got your first system? You said that your parents were cool about it or not?
No, they were not. I wasn't allowed to play games. I wasn't allowed to have a console until I was able to afford my own. And that was Super Nintendo. Okay. So I was real late to the game.
I had a console from the moment I was born because my older brother, I have a brother that's 9 years older than me.
Okay.
And he had an Atari. So we had a console in the house as long as I can remember. Mm-hmm. And then I was the big gamer of the family. So I got a Nintendo for Christmas in whatever year that came out. And then a Super Nintendo, whatever year that came out. Mm-hmm. So I had all of them.
Atari was 1977.
77, yeah. I mean, so he had it since before I was born, you know. Nintendo came out in like 85, 86, I think.
Oh, I need to be more specific, apparently.
Yeah. But so I think that's, you know, as far as like letting your kids play, 83? Yeah. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't get it the year it came out then, because I don't think I would have remembered that.
Yeah. You've been too.
I put a controller in my son's hand when he was 4 years old. So when he was 4 years old, I was playing Destiny 1, and he saw me playing, and it started off with him sitting in my lap and just like smashing the character into a wall. And then in the course of like 3 or 4 weeks, he actually got to where he could play the game by himself, like actually run around and shoot things. It was impressively fast. And I have videos of him at 5 years old killing people in Crucible, like straight up. It's pretty nuts. So it's a content thing to me. I don't shield my kids that much from stuff. If it bothers them, then I instantly stop it. But I explain to them it's a game, and
can you like when they're playing Destiny? Can you like mute just like voice chat? But not,
yes, and I do that. Okay. I definitely would not let my kids get into voice chat. Still, even at 7 and 8, I'm like, man, no.
That's just the first thing that pops in my head.
Yeah, it's so toxic.
Right.
The problem is now it's different, and it's not even video games, man. They're exposed to everything on YouTube and just the internet, man. You can't protect kids. You can't protect your kids from seeing that stuff as soon as they go to any kind of public school. Right. So you have to educate them and tell them what's wrong and what's right and what not to watch, but you can't just shield them from it. And it's like my daughter will watch something on her tablet and it'll be nice, friendly Minecraft content or something. And then the dude will just randomly drop a F-bomb out of nowhere. And you're just like, fuck. But you just can't shield them from it. Sure. You know? So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Killer Killer Plague says, who is the greatest character in Game of Thrones and why is it Tyrion Lannister?
Shit.
Did you see the new trailer that dropped today?
Today?
Today, it dropped today.
No.
Oh my God.
Does it look good? Looks like crap.
I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped, dude. I'm super hyped.
Sure.
All I'm
Who's
saying
your favorite?
is,
Who's your favorite?
favorite character?
Yeah.
Jon Snow. It's Jon Snow
What?
for sure for me.
You know nothing.
Yeah, dude. Tyrion's my second favorite. And then Daenerys is the hottest character on the show. I mean, be real.
Not really. They haven't really had a lot. I mean,
Here.
to be honest, saying like,
You gotta rate
hot
favorite
chicks
character
go. There haven't really
and then
been a
hottest
ton.
character.
What? They really haven't. Like,
Okay.
I guess
All right.
the wife, the bloody marriage thing, or the red wedding, she was okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think
no.
Daenerys looks like way better IRL than she does on the show. Like when she was in Star Wars,
Okay.
I was like, okay. Or the Solo, right? I was like, okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll take either version. I'm happy. Okay.
But on the show, I'm just like, nah.
P wifey, I love you.
No.
You're still number one.
She's kind of like seems just like a stuck-up child still. But my favorite character, can you take any guesses? There's no one you've mentioned.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Your favorite character?
Yeah. Just think about it for a second.
Um,
Someone that tells it how it is, you know?
you
Doesn't hold
somebody that
anything
tells
back.
it how it is.
Holds
That
nothing
holds
back.
nothing. Cersei?
No.
I don't know, man. Hodor.
The
He
Hound.
holds nothing
bro.
back.
The Hound.
The Hound is your
Yeah.
favorite?
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say the Skeleton King or the whatever the hell he is because he's a Necro.
Sure. Yeah. That's it. Sure.
The Ice King. I don't know, man. If you guys aren't Game of Thrones fans, then I'm sorry because I'm sure you're sick of everybody talking about
Right.
it. But the show is so good. If you get past the first season, I don't know how you can't be hooked. So,
Right. It's good.
it's good, man. Super good.
What else we got?
Hex says, "What is the creepiest thing you could say while passing someone on the street?" So if you're walking past a random stranger, what's the creepiest thing you could say to them?
Creepy.
I already got.
Say to them?
I already got something.
What the
All right, here's mine.
fuck? Okay.
Here's mine. Just look at them, and it doesn't matter what gender they are. Just be like, "Mom."
Mom?
Just like "Mom." In all seriousness, you gotta look like you've lost your mother your whole life. Just like, "Mom."
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I mean, there's obviously like worse things that I can't say on the podcast.
Sure.
You know.
I don't know. I have no idea how to, I mean, I just be like, what's your leaderboard rank?
Like what?
Like what?
That's not bad. Like what? Caleb says, "What's the stinkiest place you've ever been in?"
It's so.
You ever been to a porta potty like at any carnival
That's nothing, man.
concert?
That is nothing.
Oh my god!
You gotta
dude.
travel
It's-
more.
Are you kidding me,
Oh my
man? I've been in
God.
those places where I thought I was gonna
Woo.
die.
No, man. Like
Thought I
where
was
there's
gonna
like
die,
holes
man.
in the ground, and you know, it's like you squat, you gotta like, just shit in a hole.
That's what
Those
it
are
is. A
terrible.
porta potty is.
I mean, yeah, but porta potties got like some chemicals in there to reduce. Like if there's nothing, that's
Do they?
Awful. Yes, absolutely. It's like blue goo.
Okay, so what's the worst for you then? Like, where did you experience this hellhole?
We went to a meat market in Ecuador, and it was awful. It was awful. And there's another time too in Morocco. We were just driving, and I think we went through a meat market, and Lindsay was already like had a little bit of food poisoning, and she like
Done.
gagged she's like pull over right now, and she like couldn't even get her helmet off in time and just puked like
Just
puked.
barfed.
Yeah.
She barfed in the helmet.
No, I mean she pulled it down like just in time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man, that would be
bad.
horrible if you went in the helmet.
yeah,
Demonic
gross. Yeah.
Grizz, he said, "What's your favorite game type, genre type outside of ARPGs and FPS?" So he's excluding ARPGs and FPS.
And FPS. Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't leave a lot. What do we got? Sports games. We got.
I mean, historically, I have to say MMO. I don't know that I would love that anymore as much as I did, but you know, I played like Star Wars.
Isn't it weird how that
EverQuest
kind of
2.
changed?
Yeah.
Though, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like WoW used to be like the go-to, and like now even the thought of like trying to get 40 people in a raid seems ugh, you know.
Yeah.
Like it used to be so cool, and now I'm
Yeah.
just like, that sucks. Why would you want to do that? Can we get some 5-player content?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm gonna go with you, man. I'll say MMOs. I like sports games a lot too, though. I'm a big basketball fan, and I'm a big football fan. So I would definitely play NBA 2K series. Like I've got a lot of hours in that series. I haven't played them recently, but historically in my lifetime, man, in the early 2000s, like God, that's all I played.
Right.
NBA 2K all day, every day.
Actually, I wanted to share this with you. Like so PoE like kind of promotes. There's like kind of self-promoting their own league coming up, and so they're like, hey, just to give you a little sneak peek at an item for synthesis. And so you look at this, and it's this chest item. It says 8% of physical damage from hits taken as fire damage. And people are like, oh my God. But like you read that, what do you think?
I don't care. Like 8% of physical damage from hits taken as, so like you can get fire resistance, and then when something hits you, it's going to reduce 8% of that physical because it's fire damage now.
I just like
it seems like shit.
It seems like is there a goal not to attract in any more, like any new people? Because to me, it's like obviously like big old nerds for PoE would be like, oh cool, I can make something really cool out of that or whatever. But like someone that's never like someone like PoE or like say a Diablo player, and they're like, finally I'll go try a PoE, and they look at this and they're like, well, the fuck does that even mean?
That's not exciting looking to me. You know what I mean?
At all.
Like, so things that make me excited are like skill buffs.
Yeah.
Personally. And maybe that's because of my Diablo heritage, where it's like, I want to see an item that says this is going to make XYZ ability destroy things. Yeah. You know? And it's like, okay, cool. That's what I want.
Right.
But I carry that over into everything, like Division. Like I'm not excited about Division's endgame yet because they haven't showcased any of the sets. And they're like, yeah, they have sets, you know? Like, well, they put manufacturer sets in the game, which are like 3-piece sets. If you wear the same brand of clothing, you get set bonuses. I want to see sets. I want to see sets that are like, you know, while you got this on, you're going to get all this crazy shit. And, you know, just like they had in Division 1. So I'm a set junkie, but that could be Diablo 3's fault. You know?
And they show
and we talked. Yeah,
it's like Socket of Gems.
Like I don't even know what the gems do.
It's just like what does it even mean? Even to
so
me,
does that work like Final Fantasy VII?
What
is that like a materia slot for Final Fantasy VII where those two are linked?
Kinda, honestly. If you have never played PoE before, which I get is only like 5% of people. ThaPChild. But yeah, it is. I mean, if you're gonna pair it to something, it would be a lot like materia, where materia is like linked, you know, just like this. Like the skill system in PoE is very cool. That's one since day one. I thought it was fantastic. Like it's a really cool system, but there's obviously other stuff that isn't as cool. But
did you see that Final Fantasy VII is going to come out on Switch in like 2 weeks?
What? Oh, the old one.
Yeah, not the remaster.
Yeah. Who cares?
But the old one's coming out.
No.
Man.
No.
Man. I'm tempted. It'd be fun.
Why?
I haven't played it.
It's
like
crazy to like, obviously for its time it was amazing, and like playing it in its time was amazing. You're like, oh my God, these graphics are so insane. But like playing it now, it's just like I couldn't. No.
You don't play that game for the graphics. You play it for the story.
Well,
and for the
but
you're anti-campaign. Never mind. Wrong conversation. Wrong person. Okay, anti-campaign. You know what, Final Fantasy devs, you should not work on a campaign and only make multiplayer mode.
Exactly. Yeah. They should come out with how cool would it be, a Final Fantasy VII isometric ARPG? Tell me that wouldn't be amazing. That'd be amazing.
A Final Fantasy ARPG would just slay. It would rock.
Not just Final Fantasy, because we don't want like
gotta be 7.
Anything outside of 7, past 7 or earlier 7. No. Get it out of here. Just 7. Like, you know, it's kind of like Cyberpunk a little bit. People love that. Materia was awesome. Like, what could be better tailored for an ARPG?
You got random loot with random materia drops. That'd be baller. Be so
dope. Cool. Call me. Square Enix, call me.
Square. Yep. let us know. Got you. All right, man. That's it. That's all the questions that we had for this week. So if you guys want to submit those questions, tweet them at ThaPChild, at Lord_Fluffy.
Okay.
Discord links in the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got, man. It's a great episode.
Me too. They're all great.
Catch you guys
Come
next
on.
week.
All right.
I know. We're rocking close to 52, man. It's gonna be the 1 year.
Yeah. Wow.
1 year, dude. 10 episodes away. Like, what do you celebrate? You celebrate 50 because 50 is like half of 100. That's like a cool milestone. It's 50. And then 2 episodes later, you're like, oh, it's a year. Like, you got to exclude one of them.
Yeah.
I guess we got to exclude the 50.
So episode 50, we finally get that picture of you in the dress.
I have to lose a bet, right? I gotta. we gotta
reward the people. Gosh.
The people don't want to see that.
I mean, everybody wants to see it. It's gonna be your background image every week. My new desktop.
Oh god, see, I can't give it to you. There's no way I could give it to you. You'd tweet that shit out. It'd be my background. It'd be your Discord picture. You'd probably change your fluff icon to put it on my face or something. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
You're right in the middle of the crown.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in for episode 42, guys. My name is ThaPChild. You can catch me everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all over the places at ThaPChild.
Yeah. And I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitters. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.